Hi, real quick before we get started, I am so close to 40,000 subscribers, so please subscribe if you haven't already and share my channel with folks if you have or have not. I'm thinking I might do a little giveaway at 40,000 subscribers. I mean, I'm definitely gonna do something big for 50K, which I want to hit by the end of the year, but yeah, maybe we'll do something small at 40K. Let me know in the comments the kinds of things that you'd want in a giveaway. Within reason. And I will be at the Philadelphia Trans Wellness Conference and LeakyCon in Dallas next month. Will I see you there? Should I do meetups? Would anyone come to those? Let me know down there. Hi, I'm Jackson Bird, and today I'm doing the Who Am I book tag, which was started by PBS Digital Studios for the Great American Read, which is this cool thing PBS is doing where the whole country is voting on their favorite books, and cool people like John Green and Eliana Israel, the creator of the web series Hermione Granger's Quarter Life Crisis, are actually in the launch episode, like on actual PBS. So definitely go watch it and then go vote for your favorite books, and there are links to do all of that in the description box. But first, let's do the Who Am I book tag. Most existential book tag I've ever been tagged in. So first question, if your life were a book genre, what would it be? I'd like to think it's adventure with like a dash of magic or fantasy, but let's be real. My life is just a gender studies textbook. What villain from a book do you identify with the most? I don't identify with villains. Like, I seriously have a problem where I cannot sympathize with them at all. I mean, people who like Snape or Loki, I don't get it. And that's not a judgment, that's just me being weird. And like, I mean, okay, I can understand where villains are coming from when they've had a rough upbringing or whatever origin story we get for them. It can be very interesting, it can make a lot of sense, I can have a little bit of sympathy, but I don't identify with any of them. I tried thinking of it, I really did, I don't. Challenge me. Is there a villain you think I might identify with? Let me know in the comments. What protagonist are you most similar to? Again, I would like to say I'm like Peter Pan or Puck, but honestly, I'm probably more of a Charlie from Perks of Being a Wallflower. Well, okay, I'm probably not that passive or anything anymore. Maybe someone like Timothy Wilde, the detective in the Gods of Gotham series. I think he's the right balance of like reluctant activist like I am. And there's just so many passages of his inner monologue that resonate with me about how he perceives people and processes things happening around him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Timothy Wilde. Hard recommend on that series, by the way. It is written by Lindsay Fay. Which book did you connect with in the past that you no longer do? I've got a good answer for this one. Okay, so when I was in high school, I loved Middlesex by Jeffrey Eugenides. It's a history of several generations of family, told mostly through one family member, Cal, who finds out they're intersex. And I first read it in high school when I was desperate for any sort of gender variant representation, but even then, the book disappointed me because it was really about an intersex person, not a transgender person. Not that I really knew the difference at the time. And it puts disappointingly few details into how Cal transitions into living in the gender he's more comfortable with. But even despite that initial disappointment, I still loved it because it was the only well-written, critically acclaimed novel with alleged gender variants that I was presented with at that time in my life. But since becoming more educated on the nuances and realities of both intersex and transgender experiences, the book just doesn't hold up. Like, it's not a super accurate or respectful representation, despite having some really great prose. Like, it's good writing. But all of that said, it still has an important place in my heart, and I think that it's crucial that we remember that even imperfect representation can be loved by people who need to see that representation of themselves. You know, when people try to vilify books or movies that are problematic to our current eyes and shame people for liking them, I mean, there's a place for that, but I don't want us to forget the important role that those pieces of media might have played in someone's growth and self-acceptance who didn't have anything better. Or in the cultural context of the time and how even with its problems, it propelled representation and awareness forward in huge ways. We can critique stories and push for better going forward while still acknowledging their significance. What recent book you read would you love to be a character in? This summer, I read Witch Boy by Molly Ostertag, and oh man, I want to live in that world. I mean, I'd love to just be like an accepting brother of Aster, or just like Aster, because, I mean, I'd want to be a boy, but witchcraft is way more interesting than shape-shifting and demon fighting. None of this makes sense if you haven't read it, but you should. It is a graphic novel, and the sequel is coming out this fall, so get in on it. Seriously, it is one of my favorite worlds that I've read in a long time. I just wish it were 10 times as long. Give me all of the sequels, please, Molly. How do your reading habits show off your personality? Well, I read a lot of books when I probably should be doing something else. I also actively work to read a more diverse representation of books. when I am not consuming every trans book out there. So, I think that reflects my personality pretty well. I am a procrastinator who is making a decent effort to educate himself, but is still mostly in a queer trans bubble. And the last question, what book taught you something about yourself? So I don't always recommend this book because it's not the best representation, but it was the first book about a trans man that I read while coming to terms with my gender, and it meant the absolute world to me. The first, Man-Made Man by Pagan Kennedy. It is the true story of Michael Dillon, one of the pioneers of transmasculine medical transition. I have such vivid memories of sitting on the floor at the Bobst Library at NYU reading their copy of this book and writing down line after line in my journal to remember and soak up later. I'd read things before that I could relate to on a personality level, maybe in terms of upbringing or other aspects of my life, but never before had I been able to relate to a character on the basis of gender and sexuality. Whenever I get asked questions like in this tag about characters that I identified with or role models I looked up to growing up, I rarely have an answer. The truth is that being trans is such a different experience than being cisgender, and there are so few representations of us out there, so I grew up never quite identifying with any characters. So I guess this book, more than anything, just taught me that there were people like me out there, and that there always had been, and it gave me a lot of solace in the confusing thoughts that I was having, and honestly served as a kind of security blanket during the rougher parts of my transition. Yeah, no, really, there were a couple of books like that at different points of my transition that just when I was super low, I would just carry the book with me all the time, just open it up and start reading it and just I don't know, I guess feel comfort in feeling seen and learning more about myself and this community and this history. I don't know, it feels good. I like my security blanket books. And that's it! So I am going to tag Iris Moon, Christina Horner, and She Might Be Monica. I don't know if they've all been tagged already or not, but there you go. And just a quick note, the big players in BookTube are overwhelmingly white, so please leave all of your favorite booktubers of color in the comments so we can all subscribe to them and learn from them and give them our love. We need diverse books and we need diverse booktubers, and they're out there. We just need to help them be on the first page of results when you Google booktubers. And remember to check out PBS's The Great American Read at the links below and go vote for your favorite books. Today, in the comments below, I want you to answer some of the tag questions and recommend your favorite booktubers of color, and let me know what you'd want to see in a mini giveaway, and let me know if you will be at LeakyCon or Philly Trans Wellness, and if you would like to go to a meetup if such a thing happened. Leave all of that in the comments below. There's so much homework with this video today. But hey, if you liked this video, make sure you subscribe for new videos every Wednesday-ish. You can also follow me at JackIsNotABird on Instagram, where I talk a lot about the books that I'm reading, or on Goodreads, where you can keep up with what I'm reading in real time. And if you really liked this video, you can consider supporting me on Patreon, where we are so close to our next goal, or getting some of my merch at dftba.com/JacksonBird. Links to all of that are in the description box. That is enough self-promo for now, I think, so thank you so much for watching, and I'll see ya on Instagram stories if you go follow me. Yep, alright, I gotta end this video.